Advertising is often described as the masterful art of storytelling, for it is not just the research we conducted or the insights we uncovered that tell a story, but the way both are brought together that brings research to life. So let me take you on an adventure on how we went from theoretical knowledge and research to a beautiful tale of strategy. As Lee Katz, Berg and Cole describe in their American Academy of Advertising conference, there are two types of research in advertising: applied research conducted by practitioners and academic research carried out by educational institutions. However, our research transcended these categories in that it utilized both these theoretical understandings of consumer behavior and also applied it to real-life observations, meaning that our research didn't conform to these dual advertising research frameworks, and instead, according to the Journal of Marketing Communications' Fred Beard, prescribed an inductive theoretical approach to its research. Accordingly, corroborated by Giulian and Zab, these frameworks propose a 3R methodology: in, review, research, and results, or for our story, the introduction, climax, and resolution. As such, it proposed an inductive approach pioneered by Glass, Strauss, and Strutzel, known as grounded theory, necessitating that the researchers begin with no hypothesis and utilize patterns of observations and results to govern conclusions. This approach aimed to generate relationships, theories, and meanings from the data collected, thus allowed for the concurrent analysis and extrapolation of data necessary to bring our story to life. So firstly, this framework proposed that planners find their own characters to the story by reviewing the literature, and in line with such a review methodology, our story begins. In fact, by scouring the literature, we not only found the most prevalent target audience, but also their psychographic needs, including that both mums 40 to 50 and young girls 18 to 25 were the most prevalent users and purchasing group of skincare, and that they sought brands that were quality, value for money, and ultimately spoke something and reflected their lifestyle needs, thereby not only showcasing our research's direct congruence with such a framework, but also its applicability to the study, meaning that we had the theoretical knowledge and background necessary to decipher our target audience and discover their wants and needs. But as Goddard and Melvin discerned, there needed to be an application of these reviewed literature sources, and this is where our plot thickened. So, diverging from these classical frameworks, we had to apply this theoretical knowledge to real-life applications through two forms of qualitative exploratory research: in-depth interviews and an ethnography. First, our in-depth interviews were utilized to reaffirm these literary findings and then find out these how and why descriptors through consumer perceptions, motivations, attitudes, and beliefs. And then our ethnography was used to corroborate and justify these findings with actual consumer behavior, therefore applying Beard's inductive theoretical research approach to our methodology and showcasing our first signs of grounded theory. Accordingly, we were able to hone in on the true protagonists of our story and reaffirm their selection with actual consumer behavior, including the fact that there was these young girls that were the most prevalent target audience because they were most accessible, observed, aligned, and influenced than their mother counterparts. However, in doing so, unlike grounded theory's strict no hypothesis, during this phase, a lot of plot developments and plot twists forced our hands and shifted our focus, meaning that we needed to utilize these hypotheses to hone in upon these true protagonists and their wants and needs, perceptions and motivations all at once so that we could divulge the information and generate these conclusions, meaning that we were in complete abstract during this process to the original framework. But nevertheless, such a bottoms-up approach and concurrent analysis of the data in formulating these extrapolations and conclusions meant that we were in direct alignment with such a framework, and ultimately showcased how we could apply these theoretical knowledges to consumers' behavior through all these different mechanisms, ultimately making this inductive theoretical approach appropriate to our study and showcasing its utilization throughout it. As a result, following such a framework led us to the resolution of our story. With the strategic directive established and multiple conclusions analysed and interpreted into insights and results, this framework gave rise to the seamless transition of our hero into the story, showcasing the platform, sensibility and attributes we needed to utilise to reach such a consumer market, and ultimately allowing our hero in the strategy to swoop in and save the consumer's life. Consequently, such a review, research and result process not only helped us develop the theories, insight and strategies necessary to meet Simplicity's brand needs, but concurrently matched this inductive, theoretical and grounded theory framework established. Therefore ensured my own learning and development as a planner, and ultimately that our hero and our protagonist lived happily ever after. And so here ends our story.